Hey bitch, welcome back to another episode of Alleged Tea, hosted by your girl Taylor-Nicole, otherwise known as Lady Aguilera 2.0 on TikTok. So for those of you that didn't listen to episode 1, I did a tell all about my ex-boyfriend and what he did to me because I alluded on TikTok that he did something illegal. Summary in Spark Notes, he basically was taking pictures of me without my knowledge and sending them to a random man. If you want to know the details of that story, please listen to episode 1. Now, people had questions about episode 1. What did the mom say? What happened with your ex and his best friend? What happened to the best friend and the ex-girlfriend? Also, a bunch of people were asking, what happened to my Instagram account? Why did it get disabled? And you could be the judge of that. After I posted the podcast exposing what my ex did to me and in the last episode 1, my Instagram randomly got disabled for inauthenticity, saying that I was pretending to be somebody that I was not. I was speaking for a celebrity. I don't know why it got disabled. I don't know who reported it, but I don't believe in coincidences. And I think it's very odd that right after I posted that podcast, my Instagram was disabled and will be permanently deleted on August 30th, I think it is, in 30 days. I tried to appeal it. I can't. Anybody knows anyone that can help me get my Instagram account back, I will be all ears. If you need me to email the CEO of Instagram, I will do it. But that is why my Instagram got deleted. So before we get into the stalker story and how my ex actually gifted me my own stalker that I've been having for 2 years now, let's answer a couple questions about episode 1. So what did his mom say? What did my ex's mom say? What did she have to say about all this, about her son allegedly taking pictures of me and sending them to random men online? Initially, when all this first went down, I don't think I really expressed how isolated I was from my family and my friends. It's happened slowly, and I didn't realize it was happening at the time. I wasn't really including my friends and family into my life or my relationship. I wasn't telling them a lot of the red flags that I was experiencing. The only person that really started to notice was my best friend Trisha. She really was like, I feel like you're being isolated. I feel like you're not around your friends and family. You went from hanging out with your family every weekend to hardly ever seeing them. So when all this took place, I wasn't super close with my friends or family. And my mom and I at the time were kind of going through a rough patch. She had a lot of things going on in her life. And I was kind of going through the mental health gymnastics of what it's like to be in a toxic relationship and not tell anybody. And I was kind of working through that with my therapist. And so I had a lot on my plate. She had a lot on her plate. When this happened, I initially didn't tell my mom everything. I kind of just told her that he was cheating. I didn't say anything about the pictures or anything. It wasn't until the next day that I told my mom. His mom was reaching out to me during this. There was a week period where we kind of weren't talking. And his mom was reaching out to me, sending me memes and like little quotes saying like, you're family to us and not all family is blood. And I just really want to take you into that moment because it's so confusing. Not only going through a breakup, but finding out all this betrayal and the person that you were dating isn't the person that you're dating. And the family being good to you. But then when something like this happens, them kind of telling you allegedly, almost kind of get over it and work through it. And I didn't feel like that was something I could work through. I had always said that cheating was a deal breaker of mine. I have always said from the beginning of all my relationships, if I find out that you ever cheated on me, that's not something I want to work through. That's not something I want to be a part of. That's not a relationship that I want to be in. If you cheat on me, that's it. It's done. It's over with. Like, that's my deal breaker, right? His mom was sending me these memes and stuff, allegedly. And I thought she didn't really know the extent of what happened. And so you can imagine my embarrassment and the feeling of like humility, having to tell his mother what her son did. And also kind of say like, there's these pictures of me out there, right? So I'm embarrassed. I don't want to tell her. I want him to tell her, but I don't know if he told her because she's reaching out to me telling me like, oh, everything's going to be fine. So I finally get the courage to tell his mom what he did. I say, I just want to let you know that he was taking nude pictures of me and sending them to guys behind my back without me knowing. Her response is, allegedly, I know. That's why when you get married, you say for better or for worse. That's what his mom's response was to me. And then she said, I just want to let you know he's been saving up for an engagement ring and he wanted to take you to Paris and propose to you. I know in my heart of hearts that you're going to be my son's wife. There are things that you just have to work through. Not everybody's perfect. You're never going to find a perfect guy. In his mom's eyes, Never spoke to the father, but in his mom's eyes, allegedly, this was just a hardship. This was just a bump in the road that you have to work through. From that moment on, I think I just blocked her. I just stopped responding to her because I was so shocked, because I was looking for somebody to kind of like have my back and be like, yeah, this is fucked up. Yeah, this isn't okay. I shouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry. And I was abruptly woken up to the fact that it's basically a family affair, allegedly. Like, what I mean by that is that my ex wasn't just created that way. You know, there were situations and family situations and dynamics that create somebody to feel like those things are okay and they're not that big of a deal. Because, for example, somebody that was raised in a household that maybe said, cherish your woman, to cherish your wife, would view that as an ultimate betrayal. But somebody that grew up in a household that maybe was taught that these things happens, it's okay to disrespect your wife, it's okay, that they would view that as it's not that big of a deal. And I started to realize that the family dynamics were a lot deeper than I actually had anticipated or realized in the beginning at all. And so from that point on, I kind of just stopped talking to his mother. She also had mentioned that maybe he just needs help and he just needs to seek therapy and that all will be well. I don't know how much I can express to you the delusion I felt having a conversation with not only my ex, but his mother, and how they both kind of were feeding me this, oh, it just happens type of conversation. I don't understand it to this day, and I don't know why that was said. I don't know why, allegedly, she didn't say to me, so sorry that my son did this to you. I didn't raise him to be this way. I don't know why he did that. I'm just as shocked as you are. There were so many other responses that she could have had that she didn't. And so from that point forward, I kind of just backed away from the situation. You have to understand too, like, I hung out with his family. I was with his family all the time. They did help me out in a lot of situations. Feel also that secondary loss of somebody's family that I thought was also my family was extremely hard altogether. Like, the whole thing was just a mess. So you can imagine where I was with that. Following that up with, a lot of people were asking me, did I press charges? Why didn't I press charges? Am I going to press charges? So initially from the breakup, I can't express to you enough the like mental manipulation that I was in, where I felt this like need to protect him in a way. And when I look back, like, I have a bunch of voice recordings from him of him talking to me, and like I can hear the like trying to use this like sadness. Like, at one point he was saying that because people had found out his Instagram allegedly on their own. I never posted it or anything. And they started messaging him, calling him names and stuff. And he wanted me in one of the messages to feel bad for him because people were yelling at him. Like, my friends and family had messaged him saying like, well, you're such a piece of shit, right? Like, for doing what you did. He was like, I can't take it. I can't handle it. One of the voice notes, he literally said, I don't think I can handle this. Like, this is too much. I'm going to end up in a really dark place. And I had messaged him back saying, I never told anybody to attack you. I never told anybody to seek you out and harass you. I never told anybody to do that. People did that on their own record. You can't handle it. But there's pictures of me out there in the world that I didn't even consent to. I'm just supposed to just take that with a grain of salt and just keep it moving. Like, I just don't understand the victim mentality with him. And the victim mentality was so strong with him. And I feel like it comes from the parent dynamic. If your parent constantly comes in and saves the day for you, you feel like everything is not your fault. You feel like you'll be saved and that everything will be fixed. And even his mom kind of texting me and saying like, oh, everything's going to work itself out. That's why, for better or for worse. Like, I just feel like was this savior complex with the mom, allegedly, and her son in a way. So everybody was asking, why didn't I press charges? I can't stress to you enough the fact that I just wanted this to go away. I wanted to ignore it. I wanted to act like it never happened. The more I thought about it, the more anxiety it gave me. The fact that I couldn't control this or stop it, it just felt like this inevitability of like, this is going to come out and it's just going to happen. And I'd rather just not think about it, if I'm being completely honest. Every single person around me told me that I should press charges. It was basically up to me. Nobody can force me to do it. Nobody can press the charges for me. Everybody kept trying to convince me to do it, and I just didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to ignore it. I wanted to act like none of it happened because, I mean, put yourself in my shoes, right? Your significant other is taking photos and pictures of you, sending them to random guys. You don't know to what extent it is, and you can really delve into a deep, dark hole if you really think about it. Like, if I really sat there and thought about it, like, where are these pictures? When did he start taking these pictures? What are the pictures that I didn't see? What are the videos that I didn't see? He says allegedly that he never took videos of us having sex, right? How do I know that? I know he didn't upload it to some website. How do I know he's not making money off of it? How do I know he didn't start an OnlyFans of me? Like, I can really, if I start asking questions, go down a rabbit hole, and it just brought me so much anxiety that I just didn't want to think about it. I did not want to think about it. So when people were talking about pressing charges, I was like, this is never going to go away. I have to be reminded of it all the time. I just wanted to ignore it. And I understand the importance of protecting other women. But at that time, and after the relationship had ended, I was at a point in my mental health where I wasn't strong enough to press charges. I just wasn't. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I just wasn't emotionally capable or strong enough to go through that process. Now, looking back on it, 6 months post-relationship, and after everything that's come out and him making Instagram stories about me and talking about me, yeah, I do want to press charges. I do, allegedly. I've looked into it. I've had time to think about it, and I do want to go forward with it. Is there a part of me that feels wrong for doing that? Yes. I know that sounds crazy because you're like, what a piece of shit. I can't believe he did that. And you can see how deep this has run in me if I feel bad for pressing charges against somebody that has wronged me in the way that he did. But that's where I'm at mentally and emotionally. And that's why I didn't. A lot of people wanted to know what happened with the best friend, the ex-girlfriend. And this is so fucking insane. I can't even begin to tell you how fucking crazy this is. So I moseyed over the best friend and the ex-girlfriend, right? So recap for those that didn't listen to episode 1. My ex, Lala man, was hooking up with his best friend's ex-girlfriend. Okay, so here's the players. We're going to give them names. So my ex, we're going to call him Lala man because that's what we called him the entire time that I was documenting our relationship. My ex's best friend, we'll call him David. And the best friend's ex-girlfriend, we'll call her Stacy. Okay. Fasten your fucking seatbelts. 2 weeks before me and my ex broke up and I found out everything, me and my ex were talking about getting married. I know. It's insane for my life to just be flipped over in like 2 fucking weeks, right? I'd asked him, I would go, if we were to ever get married, who would be your best man? My ex goes, well, I don't really feel like I have real friends. Now, I'm confused by this, right? Because I'm like, you hang out with the same 3 guys all the time. Why are they not your friends? And mind you, he's known them since childhood, since he was like 13 or 14. So he's saying those aren't his real friends. So I'm confused. I'm like, why would you say that? And he goes, well, because they feel some type of way because, I kind of like fucked them over at one point. And I just feel like they feel some type of way towards me. And I'm like, what do you mean? This is when he tells me that he has hooked up with every single one of his friends' exes at one point. Starting way back from high school, he hooked up with this guy, his one friend's ex-girlfriend, his second friend's ex-girlfriend, and then his best friend's ex-girlfriend. He's hooked up with every single one of their exes at one point, right? And so I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He goes, yeah, if I had a best man, I would have to choose probably like my cousin or something because I just wouldn't feel comfortable choosing one of my friends. I'm like, okay. And now, mind you, what's going through my mind is like, the person that I want to get married to, like when I visualize my wedding, I visualize my husband having a group of people and friends around him that support him endlessly. Like the loyalty is so strong. They support me because they support him so much. That's the type of vision I have for my wedding. Not, oh, I can't pick any of my friends to be my best man because I fucked all their exes. Like, what kind of fucked up shit is that? So I'm like sitting there thinking, that's when he tells me that he hooked up with his best friend's ex-girlfriend the summer that he met me. So follow along. Remember the players. Okay. We have Lala man, which is my ex. We have his best friend, which we're going to call David. And then we have the best friend's ex-girlfriend, which we're going to call Stacy. Okay. So he tells me that the summer that he met me, because he met me at the end of summer during Lollapalooza weekend, which is in August, right? The end of July, starting early August. He tells me before that he was hooking up with his best friend's ex-girlfriend, which is Stacy, right? And I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he goes, yeah. And he doesn't know. He doesn't know that I hooked up with her. And I go, well, did you just hook up with her once? Was it like a drunk thing that you guys both regretted? Like, what was it? He goes, no. We were like a fling for the entire summer. My jaw's on the fucking floor. Like, this is supposed to be my man. This is supposed to be my boyfriend that I'm claiming, okay? I go, what do you mean he doesn't know? Like, you have to tell him. He goes, yeah, it's really fucked up. And I freak out about it because his best friend, so David and Stacy were dating, right? They broke up early summer. She started seeing a different guy. She got a boyfriend, okay? Different person. David was trying to win Stacy back. He's in love with her. He wants to be with her. He's like trying to win her over. And Stacy is now with a new boyfriend. Stacy then decides to start fucking my ex, Lala Man. So Lala Man starts flirting with Stacy. They end up hooking up. Now they're in a fling together. All the while she has a boyfriend. And Lala Man's best friend, which is David, is trying to win her back. That's the situation that was happening before he met me that I did not know about. So I hope you're following along. So Miss Stacy girl, is fucking 3 different guys at the same time. She's still actively fucking David. David and her are not together. He's just trying to win her back, right? So David would go to Lala Man and be like, how do I get her back? I miss her. And he'd be crying. He'd be upset. He'd be venting to Lala Man. And Lala Man would go, no, I know, bro. Like, I got you. Like, if you ever need anybody, I'm here for you. Would leave David, go fuck David's ex-girlfriend, Stacy. Stacy would leave her boyfriend to fuck Lala Man, and then Lala Man would come back and hang out with David after he just got done fucking Stacy. Swear to God, I cannot make this shit up. This went on for 3 months. This went on for months, okay? David did not know. David was actively fucking Stacy, not knowing that Stacy was fucking his best friend, right? Okay, so now we're all cut up to current timeline. So me and Lala Man started dating. I don't even know any of this took place. Now we're already 1.5 years deep in our relationship, and he's telling me that this happened, right? I go, you got to tell David. You need to tell him. He goes, I can't. He's like, this will just fucking crush him. And I go, well, no wonder you're not going to have any best men at your fucking wedding because you're a piece of shit. I'm like, so I start yelling at Lala Man. I'm like, no loyalty. How are you not loyal to your own friends? Like, at least the guys that I know, like my previous exes that cheated on me before, at least they were loyal to their boys. Like, fuck, you can't even be loyal to your boys? Like, that's insane to me. Like, anyways, and all this took place after I found out that I was getting cheated on. Lala Man, the whole pictures thing got exposed. I went and stayed at my best friend's house. Okay, my best friend. Her name's Trisha. Shout out Trisha. Love you, girl. So I stayed at my best friend's house for a day, and then I went back, packed up all my shit, and left, right? Okay, so I'm fuming when I'm at Trisha's house. The emotional shock had settled down and turned into anger and rage, right? So I start telling my best friend, I'm going to fucking hit up David and tell David everything. Because I know Lala Man's not going to tell him, or he's going to spin it and make it seem like it was something that it wasn't, when he told me what I had alleged, the truth, right? My best friend's like, fuck him, do it. Fuck him, do it. She's like, you know what? Why don't you sleep on it and do it and think about it tomorrow? And I go, no, fuck him. He took fucking pictures of me. He took fucking videos of me and sent them to some random fucking guy. I'm gonna fucking tell his friend what he fucking did. So I find David on social media and I go, hey David, I hate to be the one to bring this up to you, but me and Lala Man are going through a huge breakup. I found out all this stuff, and he told me that he's been hooking up with your ex-girlfriend, Stacy, since the beginning of the summer. And you had no clue, and the entire time you were chilling with him, he would be leaving Stacy's house to go chill with you, and you had no knowledge of this. I'm so sorry to be the person that tells you this. Maybe you already know, maybe you won't believe me, but I feel like at the very least, to be a good person, I need to tell you this. He immediately calls me off of Instagram. He is in shambles. He now just found out that his best friend has been fucking Stacy, which is at the time the love of his life, the girl that he wanted to be with, right? He just found out this. He goes, I've never in my life felt such betrayal in my entire fucking life. He told me that he's not even really close with you. And he's like, what? David's like, what? We've been friends since we were 13. I've been there with him through all this shit. Like, are you fucking joking me? And I go, I swear to God, he said that you guys aren't that close. Not that big of a deal. He just didn't want to tell you because he knew you would get upset. David goes, I feel disgusting. I feel sick to my stomach to know that there could be a possibility where she was fucking him and I on the same day. The disgustingness I feel so sick to my stomach. I can't even begin to tell you. I go, I'm sorry. I completely understand. He goes, what else did he tell you? So I tell David everything. David's like, this is disgusting. David starts messaging Stacy, just, I can't believe you were fucking Lala man this entire time. I can't believe it. So David's messaging Stacy, right? While I'm on the phone with him. Lala man is messaging me. I can't believe you fucking told David everything. He's going to fucking lose his mind. Now, instead of Lala man being upset and taking accountability for what he did, he's more scared at the fact that me and David are going to revenge fuck each other. I can't make this up, bitch. I can't make this up. Lala man is more scared that me and David are going to revenge fuck each other, and just me and David are going to get together. So Lala man's he's just dogging his friend at this point. He's telling me all this fucked up shit that David did and that he did in his past. So there's no way, shape, or form that I would ever want to fuck David. I'm telling David all of this. David's telling his friends all of this. Now Lala man's friends and David are like, this dude's just fucking lying out of his ass to save his relationship, which is even more fucked up because David's like, that didn't happen. Why is he saying that? Lala man's just ruining all his friendships and connections for the sake of saving our relationship that was no longer salvageable at any point in time, mind you. While all of this is going on, okay, strap your seatbelts in because it's about to get a little bit crazy in this bitch, isn't it? Okay. Stacy decides to take it upon herself and message Lala man saying, hey, Bookie, I just wanted to check in, make sure everything's okay because I know how David can get when he's upset and I know how angry he can be. I just want to check in. I don't know why I got dragged into all of this. I don't know if you needed somebody to blame, but I have so much stuff going on and I can't believe that you're dragging me into this mess. I'm sorry. You probably don't care, but I'm hurting too. And I just hope you're okay. And I hope you can be okay. I just wanted to check in with you. Kiss, kiss, love you. Stacy sends that to Lala man. Lala man is trying to fucking salvage our relationship at this point, right? So he's just freaking out. He sends me a screenshot of Stacy's message and sends it to me and goes, just so you know, Stacy just messaged me this. Sends it to me. Stacy's going behind David's back. Mind you, all the while this is happening, Stacy has a boyfriend. Okay? While all this drama is going on, Stacy has a man. So, and she's messaging David, which is her ex-boyfriend. So Lala man sends me Stacy's message. I go, this fucking bitch. Now, I would like to preface this, okay? I 1010% know that it is 100% the man's fault when he cheats, when he's eyeing other women, when he's entertaining other women. I understand that. But I can still be a girl's girl and hold another girl accountable for her actions and what she did. Why, in the midst of all of this, are you messaging, at the time, my boyfriend, during all of this to check in with him? Why are you reaching out? You know everything. Everything has just been exposed. Why did you not take it upon yourself to reach out to me and apologize? She never apologized to me. They were in contact while me and him were dating. So she was talking to him while, that was a whole separate fucking thing, right? Instead of reaching out to me and saying, hey, I'm so sorry that this happened. I can't even begin to imagine the situation you're in. I'm dealing with things with David. I will no longer be in contact with Lala man anymore. I don't want to deal with this. I just want this to end. I'm sorry. And her reaching out to him was to check in on him, make sure he's okay, right? Make sure he's okay. What the fuck are you thinking? Why would he be upset? And it was just, the whole thing was just fucking weird. And you know what? If she was a girl's girl, she would have reached out to me. But instead, she reached out to my ex. And at that point, I was like, this is all messy. This is all disgusting. I want no fucking part of this, right? At the time when all this was happening, I was raging, allegedly, right? I was posting on my Instagram story the entire story. I was posting receipts. I was posting screenshots. So I take her message and post it on my Instagram story. She's well aware of everything that's going on. She's watching my Instagram stories. She's watching my social media, right? She sees my Instagram story and panics because at the bottom of it, I think her name was still in there, or like you could still see part of her name, and she panics. She deletes all her social media. She messages David and goes, if she wants to expose me, go right ahead, but I did nothing wrong and I shouldn't even be involved in this, right? I go, I don't know what this girl's talking about. David's like, she's scared that you're going to expose her. So I go, I had no intention on exposing her. Okay, I scribbled out her name so you couldn't see her at or anything. I don't follow her. She doesn't follow me. David doesn't follow her. She doesn't follow David. Lala Man doesn't follow her. She doesn't follow Lala Man. How would anybody find her if they don't know her name? I think they saw like part of her name at the bottom, if I'm being completely honest. But like if they don't know her name, like let's just say it said STA. That could be Stacy. That could be there could be so many other names, right? So they didn't know who she was. She panicked. She deletes all her social media and she's like, I had nothing to do with this. And I tell David, I'm like, you can tell her whatever the fuck you want. I really just don't want to deal with the situation anymore. Like, all of you guys are disgusting, minus David. I'm like, all of you guys are disgusting. The fact that you're fucking each other and then fucking her boyfriend and fucking my ex and then you at the same time. Like, I don't even want to know what the fuck's going on. I just wanted out of the situation. So she deleted all of her social media and then like ran away from everything because I was scared that I was going to expose her. I never did. And I know that it was before me. It really has nothing to do with me. But the reason why it was so important to talk about is to show the integrity of my ex. Like, this is the type of person you are. This is your character. I see how she views it. I got dragged into this. Like, everything got exposed. But it's like, you still were contacting my boyfriend while we were dating. You guys were still contacting each other while him and I were dating. You knew about me. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a really tricky situation because who's at fault here? The man. The man is always at fault when somebody cheats. Whoever cheats, the cheater is at fault. But it's like, you knew about me and you should still be held accountable for your actions because you also made poor decisions. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not blaming her. I'm blaming him. But she should also be held accountable for her actions. And at the end of the day, she's not a girl's girl. A girl's girl wouldn't do that. A girl's girl would not entertain it. Maybe you don't want to let me know. Maybe you feel like I'm going to put you on blast or something. That's fine. But you could have at the very least apologized. You could have at the very least not entertained it. And you could have at the very least not messaged my ex-boyfriend at the time. It's weird energy. Bitch. While all of this is going on, right? And I'm messaging David. David's telling me what Lala Man is saying, right? David goes, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this because I don't know where you're at in your relationship. But Lala Man's telling everybody he's going to buy tickets to Paris, buy you an engagement ring, give you the tickets to Paris, tell you to come to Paris with him so he could propose to you. All in the midst of this, in the midst of Stacy and David and Lala Man and the nudes and the leaked pictures and the lying and the cheating and the buying of the nudes and the OnlyFans, he's going to go buy tickets to Paris and propose to me. Then his mom messages me. Lala Man's mom messages me. He bought tickets to Paris. He's been saving up for an engagement ring. He's going to propose to you. He's been waiting. The manipulation, the mind games is absolutely fucking astonishing. Astonishing. You have this girl that's in a weakened state, an emotionally weakened state after finding out all this information. She's basically on her own in this situation. And you're telling her that her ex-boyfriend is going to propose to her? And that's just supposed to change everything? There's something I want you guys to be wary of. Times like this, when there's a big breakup or a big fallout or something happens, there's this point called desperation, where after all this happens, men or women or whoever cheated or whoever's in the doghouse, whoever fucked up, is so desperate that all of a sudden they're going to do the thing that you wanted most. So say you wanted to have kids. All of a sudden, I was going to buy a crib, or I'm going out to buy a crib right now. We're going to make the nursery. Or let's just say you wanted him to clean up the house more. I was going to hire a maid. I'm cleaning up right now. It's this point of desperation where they're going to be everything and anything that you wanted them to be in hopes of getting you back. And it's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. David tells me that Lala Man's planning on buying a ticket to Paris and proposing to me and doing all this shit, right? Like, in what fucking world would any girl want to A, know about her proposal, B, get proposed to after finding out that her boyfriend has nudes and videos of her that was sending them to a man that she does not know, cheated on her multiple times, bought nudes from different women, and was actively in contact with his best friend's ex-girlfriend during the entirety of your relationship. At what point do you think, in his right fucking mind, did he think that I would want that as a proposal or attached to my proposal? That's the delusion that I was dealing with towards the end of the relationship. No fucking thank you. You would think after all this stuff, right? All this stuff, that's where it ends. That's the end of it. That was crazy. Oh my gosh, the tea was piping fucking hot. No. At the end of all of this, my ex gifted me my very own stalker. Yes, heard that correctly, a stalker that I've had for 2 years now because of him. And she directly stalks me and only me and not him. This started in the very beginning stages of me and Lala Man's relationship that I also did not speak about. You know what? I'm just so fucking over not speaking about things anymore. I'm just going to put everything out there from now on. So in the beginning stages of me and Lala Man's relationship, let's follow the timeline, okay? Me and Lala Man started dating during Lollapalooza weekend, hence the name Lala Man, Lollapalooza, Lala weekend, okay? So we started dating during Lollapalooza weekend, which is at the end of July, early August. And this is back in 2021. We started dating during that weekend. We're about maybe between 1 to 3 months into our relationship when I get, lo and behold, a hey girly message on Instagram. At the time, I had not posted what Lala Man looked like. I did not post his face, his body, anything. I constantly covered everything because at this point we hadn't had established boundaries of pictures. The fact that I was establishing boundaries for him on what was okay to post online and what wasn't, and he was doing what he did, is astonishing to me. But anyways, and so I get this message on Instagram. Hey girly, just wanted to let you know, I think we're talking to the same guy. If not, so sorry, but I think that we are. I am in such delusion. I think that my boyfriend's so loyal to me that I'm like, ha ha ha, no, I don't think so. She goes, does his name start with XYZ? I go, yeah, it does, but that doesn't really give me anything. Like, so many people's names start with that letter. She goes, does he drive this type of car? And I go, yeah, he does, but I'm pretty sure I've talked about that in one of my lives before. Does he live in this area? I go, yeah, he does, but I need more specifics. And she goes, I have a video of me in his room. And now, mind you, she's messaging me off an anonymous account. It's a fake profile. That should have been my first fucking red flag. Note that. So she messages me off a fake profile. And she goes, I have a video. She goes, if you confirm that it's him, I'll message you off my real profile. And I go, okay. She sends me a video. She goes, the reason why I think that it's him is because in one of your recent videos, I recognized the bed frame. Mind you, I was very conscious of not posting any background stuff because I didn't want anybody to know who my boyfriend was at the time. I didn't want anybody to know who he was. And so the fact that she recognized the bed frame should have been my second biggest red flag, right? Let's follow this thought process though. So if she recognized the bed frame, you're not going to know that that's your man just based off the bed frame. You had to have been following me for a while and started to put pieces together to realize that this could possibly be the same guy you're talking to, right? If you saw a bed frame, your current boyfriend, okay, or your ex or whatever, if you saw his bed frame, would you immediately be able to identify it? Or would you have to go searching a little bit more to put pieces together? Do you get what I'm saying? She had to have been following me for a while before she realized, oh shit, this is the same guy. So she goes, I have a video of him, a video of me in his room. I go, okay. She sends me the video. It's his room. She's in his bed. It's very clearly his room. So I go, okay, message me off your real account. She responds, oh my God, I'm literally shaking right now. I can't believe this. Now, if you are ever in this situation, you find yourself in this situation, you get a hey girly message, I think we're talking to the same guy, whatever the fuck, okay? You remain calm, you do not contact the man, and you gather as much information as possible from this girl. You put together a timeline. You get all the details and all the facts, because what you're going to do is you're going to take all that information, You're going to put it in your back pocket and you're going to ask him without asking him leading questions and see if the storyline matches up. That's the only way you're going to get some sort of truth, because they're going to lie anyways. Okay. So that's what I do. I remain calm. I ask her a bunch of questions. I'm like, now mind you, the preface of her contacting me, remember, the reason why she contacted me is to say, I think we're talking to the same guy. That's the message that she first sent me. And I have screenshots and screen recordings and voice recordings of everything that she sent me and how long she's been harassing me and everything. Okay. Allegedly. So she messages me from her real account and she goes, oh my God, I can't believe this. How long has he been talking to you? And I go, he started talking to me Lala weekend. She goes, that's when he went ghost on me. And I go, okay, hold on a second. How long have you guys been talking? When did you guys start talking? When did you guys stop talking? Like, what was the situation? She goes, we started talking, I believe in like March or April. It was right before summer. She goes, March or April. I can't remember. I would have to look at the receipts, but just know I have the receipts of everything. I just don't feel like tiring myself and exhausting myself with that much detail in this fucking timeline, because there's so much more to get into. She goes, in the beginning of summer, we started talking. Doesn't tell me the situation of how they started talking, which what I later found out is that he found her on Tinder. She had her Snapchat in her Tinder bio. He added her without even matching her and sent her a message saying, hi, my name is XYZ. I own a couple businesses. I have a lot of money and I'm looking for somebody to spoil and send weekly deposits to. And then sent a picture of his car. And this is supposedly coming from the person that says that they don't love bomb. This is coming from the person. He said he doesn't love bomb, but that's the initial message that he sent this girl. And mind you, at the time when this all happened, she was 22 and my ex was like 25, I believe, at the time. So just keep that all in mind. Tells me that they've been talking since, March, April, till the end of summer. And she goes, he went ghost on me Lollapalooza. And I'm like, well, that's when he started talking to me. So there was no overlapping is what I'm understanding. And she goes, no, you don't understand. Proceeds to send me a ton of screenshots off of Snapchat. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm reading these messages and it's just dry flirting. There was a couple conversations in there about like, hey, what are you doing? I'm going to class, or I'm doing this or whatever. But majority of the conversation is him swiping up on her stories, putting heart eyes, or flirting with her, or like talking sexually, kind of. And that was all 6 screenshots. And this is supposed to be evidence of their relationship. And the messages stopped during Lollapalooza weekend. And so I'm like, do you have any more messages? She goes, no. And I go, well, this looks like it's all before me. Were you guys dating? Were you guys boyfriend and girlfriend, or were you guys just talking? She goes, no. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. He told me we were going to go to Miami together, but then he ended up going to Miami by himself, which was wrong. He didn't go to Miami. He went to Puerto Rico. So I'm like, that doesn't really add up. So now I'm starting to see things that aren't really what they seem, right? She's saying he's talking to us at the same time. Well, it's been months and he hasn't contacted you. And I'm like, have you heard from him? No, he went ghost on me. When was the last time you guys were together, physically together? In May. And I go, okay, well, if it was in May, we're now in, I think at the time when she first initially hit me up, I think it was September. So I'm like, if the last time you physically saw him was in May, how are you guys boyfriend and girlfriend? It doesn't really make any sense. She goes, I've just been busy with some things. I've just been really busy. I'm like, okay, so do you have his phone number? Do you know his last name? She knew nothing about him. She didn't know his last name. She didn't have his phone number. It just all their communication was through Snapchat. So it just really wasn't making a lot of sense. So I take all the information she gives me. Oh, and so I asked him, how many times you guys hook up? Like how many times you guys were seeing each other? She says that there was an accident that happened and he had to go home, but they had hooked up a couple times or whatever. And she's like, and I want to say this so clearly. She kept saying to me, what do we do? What are we going to do? What do we do? That's what she kept saying to me. And I thought that was so weird because she was kind of like sucking me into like her relationship with him. And it really had nothing to do with me. So I take all the information she gave me and I contact Lala Man and I go, who is XYZ? And he goes, how do you know about her? And I go, just tell me who she is. And he goes, it was this girl that I was seeing for a little bit. We were talking. I found her on Tinder. I added her on Snapchat. We started to talk. He goes, we ended up meeting up. We went out on a date. We hooked up twice or 2 or 3 times. At one point we were smoking. She ended up fainting. She didn't want her mom to know that she smoked. So I took her back to my house. She laid down. I gave her food and water. And then we ended up hooking up a second time, or the first time. I don't know the fucking details of them hooking up. Okay. And he goes, and that was about it. He goes, I was like, well, when's the last time you talked to her? And he goes, Lollapalooza weekend. I hit her up to see like if she was there. He goes, but it was nothing special because I was hitting up a bunch of people asking them if they were going to Lala. And I go, okay. It goes, when's the last time you talked to her? He goes, that was the last message I sent to her. Everything that she said aligned with what he said. So at this point, I'm not really questioning what either of them are saying. I'm just realizing that this has nothing to do with me. This all happened before me. So why do I need to talk about this? Why do I need to say anything? So I go, so I send her a message. I go, yeah, I don't know. It sounds like this all happened before me. I'm going to handle things with him. You should handle your things with him as well. And I'll do the same. Thanks for letting me know. And kind of just left it at that. Like, I'll talk to him about it. You talk to him about it. This all happened before me. If you want to get your closure or whatever the fuck, contact him, because I don't know why you're contacting me. I genuinely think, and I really want to say this with my full chest, allegedly, I genuinely think that in this moment, she thought that she was going to be like the drama, that I was going to go on TikTok and I was going to say, oh my goodness, this girl contacted me and Lala Man's been cheating. And I think she thought she was going to stir the pot and she was going to be the centerfold of this drama. But when she realized that she was not going to be the centerfold of this drama and that I just let it go, and it really didn't make any sense for her or me to even be involved with each other, it pissed her off. So remember, the preface of her contacting me was to say, I think we're talking to the same guy, right? So I leave it at that. She goes, he blocked me on everything. I can't contact him. This is so fucked up. This is crazy. And I just left it alone. She then sends another follow-up message saying, I'm so sorry if I meddled in your relationship. I really didn't want it to come off that way. Just know I was wronged in the situation and it was really unfair what he did to me. And I'm just like looking for closure or something. But I'm sorry if I like caused any problems. I liked her message. I kept it moving. That was the preface of how she contacted me. Over the next few months, it started to turn into Taylor silencing me. Lala Man abused me, allegedly. Lala Man traumatized me. Lala Man sent me to fucking therapy, allegedly. Lala Man abused me emotionally. He manipulated me. He love bombed me. And she started taking words that I was using on TikTok for like mental health purposes, letting people know what love bombing is, like advocating for mental health or telling people about narcissism and different like forms of emotional manipulation. She was taking those words and starting to regurgitate them, saying that Lala Man did these things to her, allegedly. Whether he did these things or not, I don't know, right? I wasn't there, okay? But she started to say, because I did not tell her story, because I didn't publicly open up about her story and say what he did to her, which she did not come to me and tell me. I still to this day don't know what he did. The only thing that she said to me following these messages was, he traumatized me, he emotionally abused me. The next time that she messaged me, okay, after that initial messaging, was like a month or two later, and she says, you're so fucked up for what you did. Lala Man abused my friend, and she kept saying this, my friend, because she was contacting me through anonymous accounts. She goes, Lala Man abused my friend and you're still with him. So fucked up. And then you advocate for mental health and it's just so fucked up. You're silencing my friend. I go, I don't know what. And then you can see in the messages, because she started to post TikTok videos because I'm responding to her at a certain point and I'm confused. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Because remember, she never came to me and told me anything that he did. All she did was in the beginning messages is tell me, I think we're talking to the same guy, right? So when she follows that up with these messages of her telling me he abused her and he did all these things, you can understand why I'm confused, right? So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I entertain her for a couple messages and then she starts getting hostile and she starts threatening me, getting rude and just kind of being crazy, if I'm being completely honest, allegedly. And so I just block her. She then starts having her friends contact me. They start sending me voice notes saying, we were talking, we never stopped talking, and he fucking cheated on me, and he did all this shit. And I'm like, okay, but like, you don't have any proof of that. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like at this point, it was like, and she's like, he traumatized me, and she just kept saying this abuse thing. He abused me, allegedly. And so I'm like, If you want to tell your story, by all means, tell your story. Nobody is stopping you from telling your story on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on social media. Tell your story. Post your story. I don't understand why it was then turned on to me for me to tell her story. One, I'm not going to tell a story that I was not involved in, that I don't know the ins and outs of. I was not there. It has nothing to do with me. And why now I'm being attacked for something that my ex supposedly, allegedly did, right? So from that point on, I block her. She's having her friends and her harass me. This is when it starts getting out of hand. She then starts making fake accounts on TikTok, on Instagram to comment on all my photos, on all my videos. And it turned into Taylor-Nicole is trying to silence this girl. Taylor-Nicole dates an abuser. Taylor-Nicole is supports abusers while advocating for mental health. Like, she was just trying in any way, shape, or form to tear me down. And I don't know why to this day why I was personally attacked by this girl, allegedly. Now this is going on for like 6 months. I'm telling Lala, man, fucking handle your side chick. Like, fucking figure it out. Tell this girl to leave me the fuck alone, because why am I being attacked for what you did? And I don't even know what the fuck you did. And he's like, I don't know what she's talking about. She's crazy. So now I'm dealing with like 2 different people. He's saying she's crazy. Honestly, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, she is kind of crazy, allegedly. That's what it's giving. If I'm being completely honest with you, it's giving clout chasing vibes. It's giving, I want you to talk about me, which I'm doing now. So she's getting what she wants. I want you to talk about me so I can come out, tell my side of the story, and I'm going to get all these followers. I'm going to get all this attention, all this public attention, because that's what I want, right? And so I was trying to avoid the situation. I kept blocking her. But then it started to get obsessive. She started to wake up between the hours of 5 and 7 in the morning, making anonymous accounts on TikTok and mass commenting on all my fucking TikTok videos. Then the comments started to turn to, you're fat. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because one comment she kept leaving was, put the bagels down. You're getting big, bitch, right? Something like that. And I remember telling Kevin about this comment. I'm like, this bitch is crazy. She keeps fucking, now she's like calling me fat and ugly. She called me like Barney at one point. And he goes, and I'm telling Kevin, I'm like venting to him. And Kevin goes, do you do like a bagel series or something? And I go, no. And he goes, why did she choose like that bread? Like, why did she like get so specific about bagels? Like, do you talk about bagels? And I'm like, no, I don't. This bitch is just fucking crazy, allegedly. So she starts mass commenting between the hours of 5 and 7. She was getting up in the middle of the night, mass commenting. She was trying to catch me when I was like sleeping so she can mass comment on all my TikTok videos to get some type of traction towards her videos. Because she made 2 videos about like the messages that she had sent me initially, right? And so I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? At one point, allegedly, and I'm not even making this up, in one day, she made over 100 TikTok accounts to mass comment on all my videos. She got her friends involved. They started mass commenting on all my shit. And then it was so overwhelming that I literally had to filter my comments at one point, and I just let her mass comment. She left well over 1,500 comments in just 1 week of just her commenting the same thing over and over and over and over again. And then something she started doing, which started to, I was like, wow, this is insane now. Like, this girl's batshit fucking crazy, allegedly. She started to make anonymous accounts, right? Like fake TikTok accounts, and pretending to be other people and commenting, having a conversation with herself. So if you look at her TikTok video that she has up now, which it's somewhere on TikTok, she's commenting to herself. Like, all those fake accounts is her commenting to herself, or she'll make an account look semi-real and then comment to herself saying like, oh, this happened to me too, or message me, this happened to me. And it's just her. And so like, she would comment on my videos and I wouldn't see it, right? And then she would get all her fake accounts to like that comment to try to boost it to the top, and then get her 2 semi-real fake accounts to comment towards each other to make it look like it's a conversation. Like, she would say something like, Taylor's so fucked up, she's trying to silence, and then would tag herself, like her real account. And then she would get her other fake account to comment on that one and be like, yeah, I know, it's so fucked up. And then she would get her one friend who's real in all of this to comment on it to make it look like, oh, these people are real. And it's not. It's just her making all these fake fucking accounts and then commenting, having a conversation with herself. Like, I can't make this up. And I would like to make it so abundantly fucking clear that this has been going on for 2 years. This started back in 2021. August of 2021 was when I first started dating my ex-boyfriend, Lala man, right? She started to pop up around September, October-ish is when this all started to come about. She has not left me alone since 2021, September 2021. It is now fucking August 2023. Okay, we are going into year 2 of this girl harassing me. I have done everything and anything that I can do. I tried to stay silent about it. I tried not to talk about it. And this is all attached to my ex-boyfriend, Lala man. So thank you so much, sweetie. I really appreciate it. I appreciate both of you. And this is a PSA to my stalker. If you would like to tell your story, by all means, please do. Tell your story. Say what you need to say. Expose the abuse and the traumatic events that he put you through. By all means, I support 1000% speaking your truth, but please, for the love of God, leave me out of it. You don't need to say, Taylor's ex-boyfriend did this. Taylor's ex-boyfriend, Lady Aguilera's ex-boyfriend did this. Why can't you just say, this guy that I dated did this to me? Why does it have to attach me to it? If you want to call him Lala man, go ahead. But it's kind of weird because the reason why we called him Lala man was because he took me to Lala, right? That's my stalker. She has been stalking me for 2 years. I literally can't make this up. This is my life. This is my story. This is what's happening to me. Now you guys know. You guys feel free to look for the video. I think her TikTok @name is exposing abuse 23, and then you can see all of her messages to herself, and you will actively see her delete messages, delete comments. And how you can tell if somebody's deleted comments on a TikTok video is it'll say like 150 comments, and then you'll scroll and it'll only actually be 20 comments. It's because people were deleting comments. Okay, so she deletes comments. She's been harassing me. She has not left me alone. She joins every single one of my TikTok lives. At one point in one of my TikTok lives, we had asked her, what do you want? What is it you want? And then she would jump back and forth from saying, I don't want anything. I just want this all to be over. And then would jump back in and be like, you said that I was defaming Lala man. And that's not true. That never happened. And I would just like to make it known, allegedly, I have receipts and screenshots and screen recordings of everything. And she made the mistake of using the same accounts of her messaging and commenting saying, Taylor's trying to silence me. Taylor's trying to silence me, to also bully me and harass me on those same accounts, because she's trying to claim that those accounts aren't her, that they're just troll accounts, and it is her. And I have the screenshots of everything. So thank you to Lala man. I am so grateful for your existence in my life, because you really have just blessed me with nothing but endless blissful fucking gifts. I'll see you on the next episode of Alleged Tea.